In this video, I am making a hearty medley of savory sausage and pan-seared Brussels sprouts and apples combined with a sweet and tangy mustard sauce. Hi, and welcome to the channel where I will be cooking good food as well as counting carbohydrates. My name's Elizabeth and I'm a type 1 diabetic. And those of us with type 1 diabetes can eat anything without restriction, so I will be preparing a wide variety of tasty meals and then showing you how to count carbs to determine insulin requirements for that dish. Also, most of these recipes are low sodium and are either gluten-free or can easily be made gluten-free with a few tweaks here and there. So please stick around until the end, because after cooking the dish, we'll sit down together and rock and bolus, and of course, count carbs. The ingredients are onion, Brussels sprouts, carrots, apples, garlic, oil, salt and pepper, beef sausage, apple cider vinegar, maple syrup, lemon juice, and mustard. I'm slicing up an onion. For this recipe, I decided to make thin slices instead of chips. Do whatever shape you want. Brussels sprouts are next. Rinse in water. I slice off the hard end and then slice in half. Remove the loose leaves. Brussels sprouts are one of those veggies that you either love or think you hate. Turns out that sprouts are nutritional powerhouses. They are low-calorie, packed with fiber, vitamin K and C, and antioxidants. These antioxidants support health, digestive, and bone health. They are low-fat and contain no cholesterol. Turns out your mother was right. Brussels sprouts are good for you. If you are one of those people who doesn't like sprouts, give them a try in this recipe. Then you can tell me that you don't like them. You can use any kind of apple in this dish. For me, I used Granny Smith apples. They are firm and a little on the tart side, but that was the taste that I was going for. The bigger question is skin or no skin. I elected to keep the peel on to help the cut apple pieces hold their shape, and also leaving the skin on is a time saver. You really can't tell in this hash if it's off or on. Rinse your apples, quarter, snip the ends from each piece, and then angle your knife and remove the seedy part. Easy peasy and with little waste. You can slice the apple however you'd like. I decided to go with the bite-sized chunks. I always spritz lemon juice to my cut pieces. This prevents the raw ends from turning brown. It also adds a little more zing to the finished product. Heat 2 tablespoons of oil in your pan. The sprouts take the longest to cook, so add these first and give them a 5-minute head start. You want some charring. This is good. You haven't burned the sprouts, just added another layer of flavor. Then add the carrots and onions. I bought pre-sliced Matchstick carrots, so that was a time saver. After your vegetables have softened, add the garlic. This is the point in time where your kitchen starts to smell really good and you notice that family starts hovering nearby to see what you're making. Add the apples last. They will soften quickest. Slice the sausage. You can use whatever sausage you like. I suggest stuff that is already pre-cooked. That way you will just need to steam on top of the veggies and apples. Be diet aware of sausage. It's a great way to add flavor to a dish, but check for gluten if you are following a gluten-free diet. Not all sausage is gluten-free. And if counting carbs, again, be diet aware, because some of the binders that are used in making sausage will add up your carb count. I love this sauce. It's both sweet and tangy and pairs well with the sprouts and apples. In a measuring cup, mix 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of garlic, and about 1 tablespoon of mustard. I say about because mustard has no carbohydrates, so it doesn't really matter how much you are adding to the mix. Add however much your heart tells you to add. Add some fresh ground pepper. You could also add salt at this point, but you don't need the salt and you won't miss it. Give it a good stir and add the contents of the sauce to the pan. Heat for another minute and you are ready to plate your dish. When completed, put Brussels sprouts and apple mixture on a plate, add sausage, and I've added a hash brown patty to round out the dish. Before I begin the actual carb count, let me just say that I am not a medical professional. I'm just a person who wears my pancreas in my pocket. I also happen to have years of living with type 1 diabetes. I was diagnosed in 1964. If you do have a diabetic-related question, please consult your diabetic care team. Let's count some carbs for the sausage, Brussels sprouts, and apple skillet meal. There will be some math involved, but don't worry, it's not that hard. And this recipe made 4 servings. The apples had 12.5 grams per serving. The Brussels sprouts had 8 grams per serving. The carrots had 4 grams, and the onion had 2.5 grams. The garlic, also 2.5 grams. The vegetable oil, 0. The salt and pepper, 0. The sausage had 3 grams, and the sauce, the maple syrup, had 3.2 grams. The apple cider vinegar had 0, the lemon juice had 0, and the mustard also had 0. And I also added a hash brown patty to my dinner, and that had 15 grams on that patty. So you add up these columns and you end up with 29.5 for the apples and Brussels sprouts, 3 for the sausage, 3.2 for the sauce, and 15 for the hash browns, and it comes out to 50.7 grams. So I'm going to use my carb ratio of 1 to 15. So I'm going to take 50.7 and I'm going to divide it by 15, and that comes out to 3.4 units of insulin needed to keep my blood sugar within a healthy range. Happy carb counting, and remember, my fellow type 1s, counting carbs so our pancreas doesn't have to, 1 meal at a time.